Welcome back to the Kung Fu Cafe. I'm Charles Graham, your host. We're here in the southwest region of the United States, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we're exploring Southwestern cuisine. A very traditional dish in Southwestern cuisine. It's cooked many times during the holidays. It uses the red chilies that we learned about at Poncho's Chili Connection, and Posole. Posole is interesting. Most of the time we call it hominy, but they call it Posole here by the way it's prepared. So if you're not in the Southwest and you can't get dried Posole, you can use canned hominy. The bright white hominy, I would prefer the yellow or the yellowish hominy because it just has a little more hearty flavor to it. You can also use blue hominy or blue Posole. Posole comes dried corn. You soak it overnight like you would dried beans, and then you cook it up with a few spices, secret spices I won't quite tell you about, but use your own judgment on that and how you like it. You can also look on my website to look up very interesting Posole recipes. Anyway, I have some Posole that I've already prepared. Soaked it last night and boiled it up this morning. You boil it for a couple hours after it's soaked, and now it's all ready to go, and it's hominy. It's great. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to use our red chili. I went ahead and when I was at Poncho's and I bought several different types of chili from him. I also got a little bit of coarse. The coarse will bump up my texture a little bit, and I usually just use a pinch and go by feel with the coarse chili powder. I've got hot and mild. When we cook with the red chili, we'll use predominantly the mild chili powder and season to taste with the hot. Again, you gotta be real careful with when it says hot chili, it means hot chili. So just to let you know, you guys out there that go, hey man, I can take the heat. Have fun with that. All right, we use a little bit of garlic. We're going to use some onion. We're going to garnish it a little bit later with some avocado, add a little lime. But let's get our garlic chopped up here. And basically, I like to just peel the garlic, chop it nice and thin. Get good practice chopping garlic. They have garlic presses and things like that. But if you want to be a chef, always have a sharp knife and just chop your garlic up. A little bit of chunk of garlic is very, very good, I think. Some people use garlic powder. I don't prefer garlic powder whatsoever. As you know, here at the Kung Fu Cafe, we try to use the freshest ingredients, and if I can use fresh over processed, I do it every single time. So if you keep that in mind when you cook, you'll always have the best results, as long as you don't burn it, of course. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use some dried spices here. I've got coriander seed, got cumin seed, and black peppercorns. Okay, these are readily available. Coriander, interesting enough, a lot of people know Spanish food, know cilantro, the green. Well, coriander is cilantro, and this is the coriander seeds. You see this a lot in the dried section of the spices at your store. Okay, first we're going to prep our spices by taking them over here to the stove and sauteing them, browning them up real good. Let's go. Okay, we're going to take our spices, we're going to heat up a saucepan, add them in there. Turn your flame up pretty good. And you're going to toast your spices so they get nice and brown, but how you tell that they're toasted enough is you'll really start to smell it come off the pan. Now, we're dry toasting it, no oil, no anything in there, just let them toast up. About 2 minutes, take them off, put them on a plate to where they'll spread out and cool. Okay, looks like our spices are about ready. You don't let them just sit there, you're gonna move them around. It's a little bit of work, but it's only a couple minutes. You see some of that smoke coming off there, and then they're getting nice and brown now. And I wish you could smell it. You really smell the cumin, the coriander, and the black pepper. Now, once they feel like they're all ready to go, I'm gonna transfer it over here to a plate or a bowl and shake it out to where it kind of flattens out. It's not just sitting there in a big pile. Okay, see that? and we're going to let them cool. You'll be tempted to want to reach in there and touch them, but don't. It's really hot. Now, I really wanted to give you the flavor of the Southwestern, Hispanic, Mexican, Spanish influence on it all. So, I got a traditional molcajete, or a mortar and pestle. But before the days of spice grinders and things, this is how they did it. In a lot of Mexican households, Southwestern households, they still do. We have our toasted herbs, spices, put them right there in the middle. Now, toasting them makes them a bit brittle because we've cooked some of the oils out, but we also release the oils. You're going to take the pestle and grind them up right in there. Now, the mortar's rather heavy, so it doesn't go all over the place, move around. But like I said, there's something about doing your food by hand, using fresh ingredients, and not having processed spices and things that just make everything so much better. We have just made our own ground spices. Look at that. Just like you would buy in a package already ground up, we just made it. Now, the best part of it is, the part you can't tell, is how it smells. But at home when you try this, you'll see. Okay, that's it. Stir it up like that. I'll go ahead and return it back to my bowl. See there? And it just comes right out. You can wash this, no problem. But I know some of the people say don't wash it, just kind of wipe it out, and it lets, kind of like seasoning a fry pan. It seasons your mortar and pestle with the spices. I'll set that to the side, and our spices are ready. Look at that. Okay, now we're going to get our meat together. We're going to saute that with our onions and our garlic. We will be ready to make our posole.